All right.
Okay, thank you everybody for coming to Innovative Teaching and Scholarship of Teaching and Learning. This is sixth talk in the series, and we are really grateful to have Dr. Krishna Sigdel from Cal Poly Pomona. So today he will be speaking on some key tips on the first day of the classroom. So with that, I would like to request Dr. Sigdel to share his talk, and thank you so much. And also probably you can we can speak in mixed, right? So I don't see any different language speaking person.
Cannot share you cannot share content unless the host or co-host presenter makes you the presenter.
Oh, okay. Navin sir.
Sir, presenter हुनुहुन्छ सर अब नाउ यो
अहिले चाहिँ ठीक छ अहिले चाहिँ आउँदैछ जस्तो छ
अघि यताबाट शेयर गर्दाखेरि गयो होला सरी फर दैट ल ठीक छ ल
अहिले देखिन्छ हैन
Yep. Good. Thank you.
सबैजनालाई नमस्कार म अब त्यही त मिक्स जस्तो गरेर लगभग नेपालीतिरै बोल्छु नि त केही भएन अब मेरो डिस्क्लेमर एउटा अब म चाहिँ फिजिक्स एजुकेसन रिसर्च सम्बन्धी मान्छे पनि होइन मैले एउटा कोर्स ल्याएको थिएँ अब एसोसिएसन अफ कलेज एन्ड युनिभर्सिटी एजुकेटर भन्ने कोर्स एक्यु भन्ने एउटा अर्गनाइजेसन छ त्यसको कोर्स ल्याएको थिएँ त्यसको आधारमा मैले केही कुराहरू त्यहाँबाट सिकेर इम्प्लिमेन्ट गरेको थिएँ क्लासमा त्यसको लागि चाहिँ सर्टेन स्ट्र्याटेजीहरू विच आई एप्लाइड इन माई क्लासरुम आई फिल दिज आर इम्पोर्टेन्ट स्ट्र्याटेजिज विच somehow are working in my classroom settings. That's why I want to share with you all my experience. So that's why my title is First Day of the Class and Beyond. So that's some key approaches for developing effective class sessions. Before starting that, you're a video. Let's watch this video. This is overall college teaching about effective college teaching about myself. Like that.
The experience.
Kind of mess जस्तो सबैतिरको सबै कुराको मिक्स अप छ यसमा चाहिँ
I want to hear everybody.
Sorry.
What are the issues on campus?
There are two main factors that impact this.
Why are you teaching? Are you teaching to give an exam, to fill in your final grades, or are you teaching so that students are able to build on critical thinking skills, are able to build in their learning in a discipline or an area?
What about implementing other ideas into the classroom that diversifies the experience, engages the students in critical thinking, and has them involved in their learning, which we know is how the brain works?
Your instructions are up here.
We're going to do a quick think, pair, share.
This is a group mastery problem. We'll have 35 minutes to work on this.
Let's see, Brian, what do you got?
She really tries to get the students who aren't talking to speak to make sure that everyone is understanding the material.
Procedural knowledge.
Very good.
So you always have to be at the ready with your answer.
And then we're going to do what's called a syllabus reconnaissance. This is called an exam wrapper.
I call it a fishbowl discussion. We got quite a few clicker questions sprinkled throughout today.
Let me see it.
Now, the history of leisure in one sentence.
You can get out the skeleton notes.
I'm awake, and I'm awake because I'm engaging constantly.
You're on the right track. That's it. That's it.
Don't remember, we're not afraid of mistakes in here. We have one simple mission here, and that's to see each of the students learn and do well. Everything we do is guided towards that goal.
As an educator, we always are concerned with students, whether they are understanding your material while you are presenting or not. So we talked about in this series, we talked about different how to align the objectives and then how to do the effective classes with the discussion with the large classes, small classes. We heard about that. Today, I want to talk about slightly differently what we do at the first day of the class. That's what I want to start from. Let's take a look at this video.
I want to hear everybody.
What are the issues on campus?
There are two main factors that impact this.
Why are you teaching? Are you teaching to get...
Yeah, I want to share this.
That first day for less experienced instructors can be pretty scary. There's the fear of stage fright, and that's something that we all started with, but we got over it. And also, there's just a general sense of anxiety. You don't know who these students who you're going to be, quote, living with for 3-4 months. You don't know who they're going to be, what they're going to be like, how they're going to take to you. So there's a lot of concern. You can get rid of a lot of those concerns and those anxieties if you run that first day well.
I think.
So yeah, why is it important? That's the very first day of class. Is why is it important, right? So that's the question comes into our mind. First impression is the last impression. That's what we used to hear. I think we still hear that. So what is the main theme for the first day? First day should be the setting of tone for the entire semester. यो सेमेस्टर भरि के गर्ने भन्ने बारेमा कुराकानी गर्न पर्यो अनि स्टुडेन्टलाई इम्प्रेसन जस्तो अनि स्टुडेन्टले इम्प्रेसन के लिन्छ भने students make some kind of judgment. That's the judgment call, whether you want to continue taking this course or you don't want to take this course anymore. I just tried, doesn't seem that this course is for me, or this course should be pretty exciting for me. So students can decide from that. Next thing is this first day could provide the direction of how you will be going to get into the class throughout the semester. And then you can learn the expectation from both from the professor as well as the students. So that's kind of two-way things. Students can also learn the expectation of the professors as well as the student. Professor can learn from the student as well. There are some common challenges and misconceptions about the first day of the school, first day of the class. Usually, very first day of the class is, there is not much to prepare in the first day. So we just created the syllabus, and then I already have the outcomes. So why should I be worried about the first day? I'll hand out all the syllabus, then I should be all set, right? That's kind of common feeling. However, but that's not the only thing you need to be worried about for the first day of the class. So that first day leads the whole semester. So you need to make the guidelines, what you want to do or what you don't want to do throughout the semester, and what are the expectations. And so all behavior, you need to set some kind of tones throughout the. So you need to lay out the expectation for the whole semester. Okay, so this is not only giving the syllabus out to the students. And another common misconception is, so students does not do good or bad looking at the first day of the class. So this first day of the class should not be that much important. But that's not true. The true thing is, research shows that a lot of students, the grade and motivation is based on the very first day of the class. When you go to the class, if you see the professor enthusiastic, students feel that, I think I can learn something from this course. So I think this course is good for me. So they can basically decide, not necessarily if the course is the required course for the major, for example. That's the different story. They might need to take for that semester particularly. If students want to take some optional courses, interesting courses, and that is particularly important, that the first is they need to have some positive experience in the first day of the class. And some common challenges, there are some common challenges as well. This is one of the challenges. Is since first day of the class, there might be a lot of people who add the course and then they drop the course. I don't want to cover the content. If I cover the content, maybe I might need to repeat that again. A lot of students might not be here. So the problem there is, that's kind of challenge. what you want to do in that challenge is, so if you are showing kind of not enthusiastic or the activeness, a lot of people might drop from your course. That course should be considered as the teacher's evaluation day. So students can evaluate the course, or they can decide whether they want to continue or drop out of the course. So that's why you want to involve the students from the very beginning of the class, from the day one. So you need to show them the enthusiasm with them. So we have the valid expectation throughout the semester. That's what you need to show to the students. So that's why first day of the class is very, very important. Okay, what do you want to do in the first day of the class? So you want to be welcoming, greetings to students, and then open-minded. And probably you want to post some welcoming messages in the website, or for example, learning management system, Canvas or Blackboard, whatever learning management system is. Very first day of class is a really, really good idea to give the chance to the students and know the students. Knowing the students and calling them by name, and studies shows that students learn more, which might be harder for the larger classes, might be easier for the smaller classes, but at least you need to show an effort to know the students. I'll mention some idea how can we learn students' name in the large class settings. I'll tell you in a moment how can you do that kind of things. How is it possible? And you need to engage the student right from the beginning, not just to read the syllabus and then, oh, we are done for the day. So this is the syllabus, just take and then go out. So you should, that way students have the wrong impression that, oh, do we really learn in this class? So that's why if we have some kind of engaged activities, so you need to have planned activity to the students. And just show the model activities. What do you want to do? Interactive with the students and then with the professor as well. Interactive activity, plan the activity ahead of time, and then implement that in the very first day of the class. Cover some content. Okay, so show them we are serious. Every day of the class is really serious and really important class. So that's why start from the very beginning, start some content so that students respect. So we should be respectful to their time, and then they will be respected to our time as well. And make the class full class to demonstrate. So you need to demonstrate that the course we are taking is serious and it is organized and efficient for our time. So students they're paying for their time, right? So they are the feeder basically. So we need to think of that. So they have their time is important. So do the hours. That's why you need to use the full time demonstrating that we will be engaging all the time to the students. We'll be teaching and learning. Do not just use the half time and then just to go. So that way sets the wrong tone. If you leave the class early, that sets the wrong tone to the class. Okay, what are the activities you can do in the very first day of the class? For example, one is the syllabus recognitions. I really like this activity, even though exactly this one I haven't done in my class. A lot of students, this is really useful for freshman students. Not only with the freshman students, I found that this is useful to the upper division students as well, because they do not read the syllabus. Students do not read the syllabus. They even don't know where the exam is, what are the quizzes policy, what are the exam policy. And so you need to give some kind of chance that you do not assume that they will read everything. There are some students, they might read your syllabus. Believe me, they don't read. That's what. And then So you can do quick activity about the syllabus reading, so that students can read the syllabus. So ask them, just hand out the syllabus to all the students. Ask them, please mark 5 things. What are the 5 important things? And you need to focus throughout the semester. What are the course expectations? Just go over this. You can put the star in the front of the 5 things, and then you can make the discussion point. You could discuss with your friend, discuss with your neighbor, and you can share with the neighbor first, and you can even share with the group. And you can provide the opportunity to ask the question. Some student asks, so what is your policy? Means I found that one of the students once going over there, and then he asked me, are you gonna give the exam preparation guide? Because or the quiz preparation guides, or any kind of guidelines for the exam. Do you provide that, or do you provide the formula sheet, or do we remember all the formula, or do you provide your do you allow us to bring a formula sheet? These all kinds of things. And if you write all the expectation at the syllabus, and then you can ask them, okay, just look at the syllabus. This is what I posted there, so I cannot change these kind of things. Sometimes with the freshman students, they can kill their grandparents several times, and then they can feel that it was emergency, my grandmom passed. How many times, you really don't know. So they are looking for the excuses. So that's why you just clearly spell out everything on the syllabus, which are possible stuff. So this is one of the format you can do the syllabus reconnaissance. Next thing you could do is the reciprocal interviews. So the meaning is, what kind of activity is this? Is just you can pass out the questions, just hand out the question to the students about the learning goals, and what are the skill set you will be learning in the class, and how can I achieve the goals? These kind of things you can interview the students with the handouts. Just to give the short handouts, and they read the syllabus, and then you can ask the question. Exactly similar way you can allow the student to ask you as well. So let the students interview you. That's basically the interviews. Both sides you can interview both way. And what are your goals? What do you want to cover? Why are you teaching the way? The way you want to teach us? Is this effective teaching? How long you have been practicing the same kind of teaching practice, so that you need to show some kind of confidence that, okay, students will succeed in my class. So you can basically interview both sides, students as well as students can interview. And these are about the syllabus and overall. And you could do some kind of scavenger hunt, right? About just give them the syllabus and then find out these things. When is the midterm one, right? And how many quizzes are there? You can basically give some kind of syllabus quiz there, and so that they will have some kind of motivation to go over the syllabus. Okay. So this is all about the syllabus in the first class. As I mentioned, first class should not be only for the syllabus review, right? So what do you want to do in the very first day? You can establish the motivation, okay? Some kind of motivation. Just give us some kind of idea about the course. This is the summary of what I said so far. This slide summarizes what I said so far, and then give some kind of learning experience personalization. Welcome to students, and then show them the eagerness to work with them. I'm really eager to work with you, and then introduce yourself, and then give them your office hours, and then introduce your team. If you have a learning assistant or teaching assistants, and give them that you are not alone. We have the helpers. You are not walking alone here. We have a lot of people surrounded around here so that you can get help if you need it. So make that kind of feeling, homely feeling in the classroom. And establish the expectations. What are the expectations? How the course will be conducted? What are the grading schemes? Go over about these things. However, you don't want to put all the details. Do not do all the details, and do not make the whole class full of the details. Right? Do not spend all class discussing about the syllabus. And you can involve some kind of assignment, or make the assignment number 0 with where you can write some questions for the syllabus, and then you can mix these either some important reading materials. Okay, this is all about the first day of the class. Oh, I still have the do and don'ts. Okay, what do you want to do? Always start the class on time. Be respectful with the time, and tell the students that everyone can succeed. Okay, this platform is for everyone. If you put a good amount of effort, then you can succeed in this class. Okay, this class is for everyone, not for only the selected people. And then, for example, if there's some kind of academic misconduct or conduct, plagiarism. Okay, can I cheat? Can you cheat? You cannot cheat. So just tell about that a little bit. Freshmen might not know a lot of things about this. And end the class on time. End the class on time, and with your information, it is a good idea to post on the slides, display the PowerPoint slides with your office hours, contact info, and contact info so that they can contact you. And what are the don't things is, do not tell students threatening language. Okay? So this course is really hard. You need to work maybe 10-12 hours a week. Be prepared on that. So do not, even though a course is hard, right? For example, physics, if you are taking mechanics or any kind of physics out of the classroom, they might need to take about 8 to 10 hours of the work. That's true, but tone a little bit down, tone differently. Do not tell now, oh, this is really hard course. A lot of people fail. You also expect to fail, right? If you don't work hard. So this course is very difficult. Do not take the negative languages there. Just show the positive vibe. And emphasize the rules and the penalties. What happens if you do this? If you mainly for the plagiarism, okay? And then tell the students in such a way that do not make the distrust of the course. Okay, do not send the message that disturbs, basically trustful message. Send to the trustful message. Do not send the distrustful message. And again, do not end the class early. Take the entire class. Introduce yourself, and then share your experience. That's really important. And I'll explain a little bit more about that sharing experience in the motivation slide. But I just wanted to tell here, sharing your experience sometimes is really helpful. Our career path, whoever are here, mostly our career path is not that easy. Most of us are probably first generation college students. Our parents did not go to college. And CSU has a lot of, I believe for other universities also have a lot of first generation students. And then they have some kind of issue of the motivation. Oh, I am college first generation. My parents never went to the college. Can I succeed? They have that kind of question in their mind. So share your experience. Tell them what was your career path. That career path might be really big motivation for some students. So that I have in the motivation slide a little bit. Yeah, next part is motivating students. So start motivating students using asking them set the goals. Okay, goal setting is really important. If students have their own goal, then for the particular semester, for the particular course, and they can succeed. Use the DAPS method. Okay, this is the motivating goal. It needs the 5 qualities. These are the qualities of a goal. Goals should be, okay, these are the characteristics of the goals. It should be dated. It should have some specific deadline. Okay? I'll get an undergraduate degree for how long? 4, 5, 6 years, or maybe 7. You need to have some kind of deadlines, right? It means you have different people have different constants. They might not be able to finish the course on time. They might be working full time. So you need to make some specific deadlines. Next, achievable. Can you achieve the goal? Be realistic. And then the goal should be the personal. Do not think about the other people. Oh, this person is doing, even though you are in the same level, do not look at other person, look at your situation and set the goal for you, not for the others. Be positive, use the motivational goal. Just start from I can't do it. That's the spirit you should have. Do not do from the down side. Okay, oh, I don't want to do this. Do not do the negative side. Just be positive side, and be specific. I'll pass the course. Right? That's the not specific. This is the really broad statement. I passed the course doing the homework on time, attending all the lectures, doing all the quizzes, and using the office hours of the professor. They said, help the students to achieve the goals, which has certain good characteristics. That's the DAPS. That's the formula I learned from that course, which I found really, really interesting and useful. And next thing is use the word of encouragement. Okay, so you can praise the students not every week. There should not be too many or too little. Yeah, this is the reference I put in here. Every other week is good. That makes not too many or not too few. So send them the motivation and persistence. Oh, you guys are doing good. And then you can basically put some information about the course, such as these are the example module introduction message. So this is the introduction message where I posted in biophysics course, which I taught in last spring. So for example, you just introduce the module. I just wrote welcome to module 2, and in that case, I just talked about what we did in the past, what we did in the last module, how the last module gets connected to this one, and then what we'll be learning about this module. So make some kind of excitement to the students. Oh, this is kind of excited. Will be everything whatever we did in the past was important. It's building up on whatever we are doing now. And then you can put in positive language, encouraging way. So that's why that's how you can motivate the students. Other strategies, end of module message. Similarly, you can write the end of module message. We are done with this module. We learned this, and that. You can even post the discussion forum to the students. Okay, contribute to the discussion forum. You can make them as the graded discussion forum as well. So because students can participate there enthusiastically, you can encourage them to do that. Reminder announcement, which is students really appreciate. I did not realize that. I always tell students, oh, you should read the syllabus everything is in the syllabus, deadlines should be there, and then deadlines should be in Canvas or LMS, whatever we are using. They should be aware of the deadlines. That's true, but they really appreciate if you tell them. So you can just put the announcement, or you can just email them in the class. Okay, we are upcoming assignment is due tonight, or means due on sometimes. These are the logistic stuff, and you can post the strategy of the success or some kind of problem solving strategies. So, for example, if they have the exams or a challenging assignment, you can just email them. What are the strategies? Even though you explain in class. Yeah, for example, yeah, I was at during this semester I'm teaching freshman mechanics course. A lot of students basically struggle to even draw a freeway diagram. Okay, just first draw a freeway diagram, right? Just draw a freeway diagram, and then try to look at all the forces and set up the equation of motion, solve them. I tell them that in class, but if you write that down in the email wise, then, oh, my professor sent the email a while back. I might need to go back and then look at the strategy. Just tell them the strategy, and then encourage them. You guys did the first assignment pretty good. Don't worry, you will do it in the positive tone. So encourage them, just send the motivational message. And then show them the kind of act of caring. If the students, probably this might not be possible in the large class. If you have 300 students, you probably even don't know who came, who didn't come. For the smaller classes, about 30 students or less than that should be possible. If some students are absent in consecutively 2 or 3 days, you can reach out to the students. They really appreciate. Yeah, I mean, last week I emailed one of the students in my lab class. He was absent for 3 days, 2 weeks, and he came to my office hours and mentioned that, sorry, professor, probably I have some kind of financial hardship. Probably I might need to take out of the class. I might need to drop. They might have several problems. You never know. And then they really appreciate your caring environment, and then your relationship with the students, not only with you. That's the kind of, even to the department as well. Oh, that professor in that department is doing really good job, and then he's a really nice professor, and then students kind of feel really, oh, we are at home and we are in the good hands, kind of things. So that's why, we should, since the teachers are doing good job caring us, we should be motivated. We should be motivated to achieve our goal. That's what the students think. So these are the examples you can apply to your classrooms. So for a single classroom to get the motivation, just greet them when students are coming. Good morning, how are you doing? Be very informally, and ask students to tell their name while they're asking questions. Even for the large class, while they're asking question, just start your name. Okay, my name is this, or this is my question. That way you will have some kind of idea, and who is asking questions, who is not asking at all. And give students chance to introduce themselves and then to their neighbors. Nowadays, I can see if you walk around the hallway, what you see all the time is on the phone. Probably they don't talk to each other. And it is really good and appreciated from the student side that if you create some kind of environment to talk to your neighbor, introduce themselves like a family member for the whole semester, that creates really good vibe. And for the large class, what we could do, which I haven't tried this, I really want to try, cycle through the front row seating. If you have the front row 5 or 7 students, call 5 or 6 names, sit on the front row, so that students, and then the following week, call another 7 students. and then ask them to introduce. So that, and then you can talk them informally who are sitting in front of the class, talk about the homework. So that chance will be given for every service to every students. That's why it's kind of fair also. And then students really appreciate that caring environment to the classroom. As I mentioned before, give your introduction, tell them your story. That might be motivating to some students. As I mentioned before, many students have the first year college students. They might get motivated from our story. We have a wonderful story, so we should have some time to tell them the story. You might think, oh, we have a lot of course to cover. Do we really have the time to tell our story? Yes, we do. We definitely do have some time. You can spare. You don't have to take the whole class time to tell the story, right? In 10 minutes, 5 minutes, you can tell a lot of things there. Okay, good motivational words there. Okay, now after this motivational things, I want to go to some class activities, right? About the note taking. So can you get it all while taking a lecture note? Right, students, what percentage of the important things, or what percent of the things what students can get while they are taking the note, if they are taking, right? Not all of the students might take the good notes. So how much is captured in a first year college student's note? If you look at the college student's note, what could be the percentage? 10, 30, 50, 75? Can you guys guess? We might think, oh, this would be at least 50%. Right? First year college students note can contain at least 50% of the course. But research shows that, study shows that only 11% of the lecture is captured in a first year college student. Even the best students capture only 75% of the lecture. Okay, so only 11%. So what other percent? So how do you balance other? How do you get other things there? It means definitely the careful note taking is really important. And another thing is, can we remember all? Whatever you take the note, can you remember all the things? Even the 11%, right? It is a good lecture. Can you remember that part? So written 70% in the first 10 minutes. That's what. So while you are talking in the lecture, this is not in the note side. Sorry, this is not in the note part. This is in the lecture. While you are listening the lecture, how much you can retain? First, if you suppose you have the 20 minutes lecture, you can retain about 70% in the class. Okay, for the first 10 minutes, but only 20% for the last 10 minutes. Okay, you cannot get much when the time goes by, right? So it's really important to take the note. नेपालमा हुँदाखेरि हाम्रो के भन्छ 9 दिन भयो नौलो 20 दिन भयो बिर्सिन्छ भन्ने एउटा भनाइ थियो हैन। अब त्यो पनि यो पनि अब त्यस्तै जस्तो अब एउटाले कुरा भन्यो भने अब बिर्सिदा हाल्यो, 2-4 दिन हेरिएन भने बिर्सियो। अब एउटा स्टुडेन्ट आयो मेरो क्लासमा बिहान, आज मेरो अफिस आवर थियो, आयो अब के भन्ने, अब त्यस्ता पनि विद्यार्थी अब कसरी पास गरेर आयो भन्ने अब अचम्मको कुरा। अब न्युटन्सका लहर सबै पढाएर भइसक्यो, अब रामायण पढाएर भइसक्यो, सीता कसको जोइ भनेको थाहा छैन। न्युटन्स ल अफ मोसन भनेको, सेकेन्ड ल अफ मोसन भनेको के गरेका छ भनेर सोधेको छैन। F equals ma भनेको ओ रियली भन्छ, ल हेर्नुहोस् अब के। अनि पछि भने यो कसरी सम्झने आउँछ, तेरो नाम सम्झन्छ बिर्सन्छस्, तेरो नाम, क्यान यु फर्गेट योर नेम भने मैले, नो आई क्यान नट फर्गेट माई नेम, हाउ कम? Oh, I'm using a lot of time. My name, I need to tell my name I use my name regularly, very frequently, a lot of time. Once, oh, त्यही गरी फर्मुला पनि a lot of time use गरेछ भने तेरो घैँटा घाम लाग्छ न त छैन भनेपछि ओ द्याट्स गुड आइडिया भन्छलाई हेर्नु के भन्ने सबैलाई त्यस्तै त्यस्तै भयो होला मलाई मात्रै होइन होला म आज त्यस्तै भनौँ यो पनि रिटेन गर्ने कुराहरू पनि अब तपाईँ नोट लेखेर भने सो नोट टेकिङ इज रियली इम्पोर्टेन्ट द्याट्स माई पोइन्ट अनि अब नेक्स्ट स्लाइडमा some people might think that I do not need to take any note. I listen very well, so I can retain everything. That might be the claim. But study suggests that an average students recall 50% after 1 day, 35% after 1 week. So you know the no the distinguishes 29% after 2 weeks. That's the average. That's the average students. So the meaning of that is note taking is very critical. Another thing is study found that if the important information is contained in the notes, it has about 34% of chance being remembered. If you have really good notes, if you have really important notes in your notes, then the chance is you can remember the 34% of the chance you can remember. If it is not in a note, you don't have just and only 5% chance of being remembered. For example, someone is keeping the talk. If you want to try to remember there, chance is getting low and low and low, but about 30% of the chance you can remember if you write it down. If you don't write it down, probably you forget. Okay, these are the research based. They found from this. Yeah, there are some references also I have put there. And students fail to record about 40% of the important points in a typical lecture. If I hear that, this is kind of horrible because they are trying to look at the note, recording the note. Still, they are not putting 40% of the important points there. So the meaning here is the good note taking skill is critical. There is a typo here. There is 2 note taking there. So it's a good note taking is important, but the good note taking is critical. Right? So you need to have a good note so that you can go back and then take a look. About the note taking, is I just have to copy that my professors write on the board. Whatever he writes on the board should be good. Maybe I don't need to be careful about what he says. But the reality is not everything written is important there. So the basic note-taking idea is make notes easy to read so you can underline the keywords. I have seen some of the students, they do really, really nice note-taking. They can put the highlighter there, and then you can connect the important thought. And then what you can do, you can just leave this space. If you feel you missed something, you can leave this space. You can, after the classroom, you can go and take a look on the note and then complete the note. Another thing, what I found is note sharing is a really, really important and fruitful activity. In my last spring biophysics class, I did this note sharing. Just I asked the students, take the note, even though I have PowerPoint slides, note down whatever I say and then note down whatever in the PowerPoints. And then I made some kind of activity that they will share your note with your neighbor, whatever you are missing. And then share your note with the classroom. You can make that kind of activity as well. Which I found really, because not all of the students are good at note taking. So they can basically get the benefit from the good note takers. if you allow them to share the notes. And what you can do within the 24 hours, review the note and clarify, elaborate. I remember in our while we were in school, college especially, when you go to this college, take the classes, you might not understand everything. When you come back and then take a textbook, master's degree को मलाई अझै याद छ गुप्ता कुमार शर्मा हेऱ्यो, अब त्यही एउटा टिचरले लेखेको सबै बुझिन्छ बुझिँदैन, अनि त्यसै गरेर फेरि नोट बनायो, घोकनलाई सजिलो लास्टमा। अब भनेपछि अब आउने बित्तिकै सकेसम्म कि अब तुरुन्तै गराउनु पाइयो भने भइहाल्यो, अब बनाएन भने पछि त अर्काको नोट सार्न पर्छ। अब टियुमा आउँदाखेरि त टियुतिर त अब पहिलाका नोट कति वर्ष पहिलाका नोट सार्ने, अब तिनी घोक्नु पर्थ्यो, त्यो त आफ्नो ठाउँ छँदैछ। अब भनौँ न मेन चाहिँ अब त्यही क्लास पढाएकै दिन गर्न पाइयो भने आफूले note taking process, you can understand more, you can elaborate your note and do it again in a week and then a month later. एक महिनापछि त बिर्सिहालिन्छ, फेरि do it again. Repetition is important. And yeah, I want to mention a little bit some strategies. How do you begin and end your class session? Okay, the whole thing is about the effective class sessions. How do you want to start your class? Just go and just write we want to study today Newton's second law of motion. Just write down the equation and start from there. I think that's not the good strategy. A little bit of warm up is always good. Just ask students some question, and that questions will be answered during the class or by the end of the classroom. The question will be answered by the professor or from the students via some activities. Ask a student to write down some questions. Okay, you can just write down the questions. What do you expect to answer the questions at today's lecture? Was some kind of complex problem, so students will offer some part of the solutions during the classroom, or tell some story related to the classroom. Whatever you are teaching today, if you are talking about the Faraday's laws, tell a little bit of story about how Michael Faraday discovered the Faraday's effect, right? If you have any kind of story there, just try to relate that story with the daily life. That might motivate students. And you can start your course summarizing the previous class, whatever we covered in the previous class, and then today we'll be starting this. Just make the connection. Okay, these are the good strategies to start the class. So how do you end the class? And end of the class by having the students answer your initial questions. And ask the students, summarize. So you asked before at the beginning of the class, ask the students to write all the questions. And then now ask us, did you get all the answers? Did you get all the questions answered? Or if you have any unanswered questions, and you can make some kind of discussion there, and make the discussion point maybe in the next lecture. And ask the students summarize what they learned during the class session. And you can pose some important question for the next class session, next session. And another strategy would be do not do whole hour lecturing. Okay, do not do whole hour lecturing. You can break the classroom at different sessions, maybe 10 to 15 minute segment. How can you break that? Is just make the clicker question, some clicker question, ask them to board, and then give the talk to their neighbors. Do a little bit engaging there. I think we discussed about this in the past. Make the class active learning so that students will not be bored. And ask them clearly, write the note and share with the neighbors. This kind of activity you can make them. And this is, I think this is my last slide. I don't know what is the time. We are almost out of time. And you can do the class exit tickets or the minute paper, where you can ask commonly used techniques. This is basically the commonly used technique, class exit tickets and the minute papers. And it can be used at the end of any kind of topics. Sample questions. These are the sample questions I used in my class. So what was the most interesting things you learned in class today? What was the most confusing? And what was this? And you can take these as a feedback. रमेश दाइले गरेको प्रेजेन्टेसन थियो पहिला उहाँले अब दिनदिनै जस्ट इन टाइम टिचिङ अनि फिडब्याक अनुसार दिनदिनै गर्नुहुन्थ्यो भन्नुभएको थियो त्यति बेला। यो जस्तै यो चाहिँ अब क्लासको लास्टमा छ, यो चाहिँ फर्स्टमा होइन, यो चाहिँ क्लासको लास्टमा स्टुडेन्टलाई सोध्ने के लर्न गर्यो तिमीहरूले, के इन्ट्रेस्टेड छ, अनि पछि अर्को दिन चाहिँ त्यहीँबाट सुरु गर्ने एन्सर चाहिँ। यो पनि एउटा गुड स्ट्राटेजी हो। यो क्वेसन चाहिँ मैले ट्राई गरेको क्वेसनहरू पनि। I think this is what it is. If you have any question, I'm happy to answer. Again, I want to mention that I'm not expert education, physics education expert होइन यो, मैले यो कोर्सको आधारमा जति लर्न गरेँ त्यही हजुरहरूलाई शेयर गरेको हो। Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sigdel, for sharing your experience. Actually, let me repeat. This is not actually PER session like this. The name of the series is Innovative Teaching and Scholarship of Teaching and Learning. So there, like anyone who is doing best practices of teaching or some kind of innovation in teaching, it's great. Like, so you did a great presentation. Like some of those things I never applied, so I will definitely apply this minute paper. Like this last slide, I really like this idea. So thank you. Now, if any audience have questions, so please unmute and ask a question to Dr. Sigdel. If you are uncomfortable to speak because of your location, you can type the question in the chat box. I can read that question to Dr. Sigdel. Okay, thank you. One question I would like to start with is, class exit tickets. So do you mean by this kind of questions, or what does that class exit tickets mean?
So स्टुडेन्टलाई यो क्वेसनहरु दिइसकेपछि उनीहरु एन्सर गर्छ अनि निस्केर जान्छ सिधै लास्टमा।
ओके।
अनि पछि तपाई यो हेर्नुहुन्छ पढ्नुहुन्छ स्टुडेन्टबाट यो सर्वे जस्तो लास्टमा सर्वे जस्तो भनौँ न यो
पेपर पिस दिने भन्नु भयो होला हैन?
हो, एउटा कागजको पिस दिने, स्टुडेन्टले त्यो हेर्छ लेख्छ एन्सरहरु यसमा, अनि त्यही अनुसार तपाईले अब भोलि गर्नुपर्ने कुरालाई मोडिफाई गर्ने अथवा के गर्ने पढाउने कुरा पछाडी
किरण जीले ह्यान्ड रेज गर्नुभएछ।
के ह्यान्ड रेज गरेको बेला चाहिँ के भन्दाखेरि मेकिङ नोट्स भन्ने बेलामा हुन त मैले एन्सरहरु दिनुभयो हैन, एन्सर दिन अगाडि नै मैले हात उठाएको थिएँ। मेकिङ नोट्स त हो, राम्रो नोट त बनाउनु पर्छ, तर कसरी बनाउने भन्ने कुरो चाहिँ आए हुन्थ्यो भन्ने लागेर मैले हात उठाएको है।
हजुर
तपाईले एन्सर पनि गर्नुभयो, तर अझ पनि इफेक्टिभ वेमा चाहिँ विद्यार्थीलाई चाहिने खालको नोट कसरी लिने भन्ने कुरो चाहिँ अलि गाह्रै हुन्छ होला। लेख्ने कि हैन, नोट राम्रोसँग बनाउने कि एक त बनाउँदै कुन चाहिँ इम्पोर्टेन्ट कुन चाहिँ नट इम्पोर्टेन्ट उनीहरूलाई थाहा हुँदैन। त्यो चिजलाई इफेक्टिभ कसरी गर्ने भन्ने खालको दिमागमा आएर मैले हात रेज गरे।
एकदम गतिलो कुरो गर्नुभयो, एकदम ठिक कुरा गर्नुभयो। तर अब त्यो चाहिँ अनदर पार्ट हो, त्यो चाहिँ मलाई पनि थाहा छैन।
अझ कस्तो हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि मेरो आफ्नो अनुभव नि, अब मिटिङ सिटिङ हुन्छ, क्लास त होइन, अब हाम्रो मिटिङ हुन्छ, कसैले भनेको चिज यसो टिप्यो, बुझ्या जस्तो हुन्छ हैन, अनि भोलिपल्ट त्यही चिज हेर्दाखेरि मैले हिजो लेखेको त के हो नबुझे जस्तो पनि हुन्छ कि विद्यार्थीलाई पनि सायद त्यस्तै हुन्छ कि भन्ने सेन्समा।
एकदम ठिक कुरा गर्नुभयो। अब लेख्दाखेरि चाहिँ अब कसरी लेखेर राम्रो हुने हो, कसरी लेखेर नराम्रो हुने हो, अब जम्मै कुरा लेख्ने हो कि भनेको कुरा सबै लेख्न सकिँदैन। लेख्दै अब उसले बोलेको कुरा लेख्दै बिचैमा के भने सिद्धिसक्छ नि त फेरि कहिलेकाहीँ त।
त्यही त
एउटाले भन्दै थियो अनि यु टक रियली फास्ट भने फेरि अस्ति अब मैले लेख्नै भ्याइन भनेर के भनौँ न त्यो पनि हुन्छ नि त त्यही त होइन त्यो अब कसरी नोट लेख्ने भन्ने कुरा त्यो अर्को रिसर्चको साइड हुन सक्ला
त्यसमा अब मैले त पढाएको छैन है अनि मैले मेरो छोरा पहिला स्कुलमा पढ्दाखेरि पुरानो स्कुलमा सायद अहिलेकोमा कसरी नोट लिन्छ थाहा छैन तिनीहरूलाई चाहिँ कोर्नेल नोट भनेर चाहिँ सिकाउँदो रहेछ त्यो त्यस्तो खालको कुनै किसिमको विधि छ भने त्यो उपयुक्त हुन्छ कि
यो
अब सायद तपाईहरुलाई धेरै थाहा होला मलाई त केही पनि थाहा छैन भन्ने हुन्छ मैले मेरो छोराको यसो एकछिन पेपर हेर्दाखेरि उनीहरूले चाहिँ पेपरलाई चाहिँ नि आदि फोल्ड गरेर हाफ साइड गर्दो रहेछ अनि वान साइडमा के लेख्ने अर्को साइडमा के लेख्ने भन्ने खालको चिजहरु सिकाउँदो रहेछ मैले ध्यान दिएर एकदम सँगट हेरे छैन है त्यो त्यस्तै खालको कुनै किसिमको नोट टेकिङ इफेक्टिभ नोट टेकिङ खालको क्लासहरु भयो भने एनपामा फेरि अर्को पल्ट कसैले प्रेजेन्ट गर्दाखेरि पनि इफेक्टिभ नै हुन्छ होला
यो एकदमै यो महत्त्वपूर्ण वास्तवमा हामीले कलेजमा इङ्ग्लिश गर्दाखेरि त्यहाँ कलेज पढ्दाखेरि नेपालमा एउटा क्वेसन आउँथ्यो नि नोट टेकिङ र समरी राइटिङ भन्ने लाइक नोट टेक गर्ने अनि त्यसको समरी चाहिँ 1/3 मा लेख्ने भन्ने त्यो वास्तवमा त्यो यो च्यालेन्जिङ पार्टै रहेछ क्या नोट टेकिङ भनेको रमेश के भन्न खोज्नु भएको जस्तो लाग्यो मलाई के जस्तो लाग्यो
नोट टेकिङ भन्ने कुरा कोही विद्यार्थी जसले जाने हुन्छन् कस्तो नोट आफूले लिँदा आफूलाई हेल्प हुन्छ भन्ने उनीहरूले लिन्छन् तर कतिले लिन जान्दैनन् हैन के गर्नुपर्छ भनेर अब मेरो अनुभवमा चाहिँ मैले बुझेको चाहिँ हैन अब कति नोट लिन थाल्दाखेरि अब क्लासमा के भइरहेछ भन्ने कुरो फेरि त्यो नै छुटाउने पनि हुन्छन् कति हैन अनि यो हाम्रो कृष्ण सरले जहाँ नोटको कुरो गर्नुभयो त्यसमा रेफरेन्स पनि थियो मैले यसो हेरे त्यो डेट चाहिँ 1969 तिरको थियो क्या त्यो
हजुर
त्यो बेलामा कसरी पढाइ हुन्थ्यो त भन्दा टिचर आएर बोल्थ्यो ओर्थ्यो र जान्थ्यो अब नोट नभए केही पनि हुँदैन थियो कि त बुक हुन्थ्यो कि त नोट हुन्थ्यो अचेल हाम्रो के हुन्छ भने पावर पोइन्ट हुन्छ त्यसमा नै नोट हुन्छ क्या खासै भन्ने हो भने मेन कुरो त त्यही हुन्छ नि त्यसैले त्यो चाहिँ त्यति धेरै ठुलो कुरो हुँदैन कि जस्तो लाग्छ तर पनि जसको त्यो नोट लेखेर पढ्ने बानी छ जसले त्यसलाई चाहिँ भनौँ न त्यो स्किललाई चाहिँ उनीहरूले डेभलप गरेका छन् उनीहरूले लेख्छन् र गर्छन् पनि हेर्छन् पनि हैन त्यो गर्ने पनि हुन्छन् कति चाहिँ त्यही अब भनौँ न अब त्यो स्लाइडमा भएको कुरा पछि अब मैले त सबै पोस्ट गर्ने गरेको छु त्यो स्लाइड मेरो जुन स्लाइड हुन्छ त्यो सबै पोस्ट गर्छु हैन पिडिएफमा कन्भर्ट गरेर पोस्ट गरिदिन्छु अनि त्यो स्लाइडमा चाहिँ मेन कुरा मैले पनि त्यो लेखेर राखिदिया हुन्छ मैले आफूले भन्न बिर्सिन्छु भनेर भन्दा पनि त्यो कुरो भयो भने विद्यार्थीले पनि हेर्छन् उनीहरूलाई के कुरो हामीले गरेर छौँ भन्ने थाहा होस् भनेर त्यो मैले लेखिदिने गरेको छु अब हुँदा अझै त मैले त डिटेल एउटा भनौँ न मिनी बुकलेट नोट जस्तो पनि बनाउन थालेको छु क्या त्यो विद्यार्थीलाई दिन्छु
त्यो मिनी बुकलेट नोटमा के हुन्छ रमेशजी
के हुन्छ त म सेयर गरौँ त्यस्तो नोट
हुन्छ नि
यहाँबाट मेरो म कम्प्युटरमै छु सायद त्यो होला एउटा म पेजै भनौँ न सेयर गर्न पनि सक्छु होला यहाँ भेट्छु होला है त
त्यो गर्नलाई नवीन सर तपाईले त्यो
ठीक छ सर रमेश ढुङ्गाना सर तपाईँ अहिले प्रेजेन्टर हुनुहुन्छ प्लिज
थ्याङ्क यू
भेरी
सो मच
है त अब यो चाहिँ
आज रुद्र अर्यालले जीवनलाई लिएर आउँछ कि भन्ने लागेको थियो आएन छ
मेरो यो नोट चाहिँ
देखियो
इन प्रोग्रेस हो हैन अब बुक जस्तो लामो त हुँदैन अब विद्यार्थीले यो हेरेर मैले चाहिँ यो कुरामा एम्फसाइज गर्छु यी कुराहरू पढाउँछु विद्यार्थीले यो हेरेर आफूलाई चाहिने भर्सन एउटा सोर्ट नोट बनाउँछन् अब यसबाट
त्यसलाई अलिकति जुम इन गर्न मिल्छ रमेशजी त्यसलाई अलिकति राइट या एक्ज्याक्टली या गुड थ्याङ्क यू
अब यो चाहिँ मैले भर्खर अस्ति कहिले हिजो अस्ति भर्खर लेखे हो क्या यो मोमेन्टम लिनियर मोमेन्टम पढाउनलाई हैन
अर्को च्यालेन्ज चाहिँ मैले फेस गरेको हुन त अब सबैलाई त्यस्तै हुन्छ होला अब तपाईले पावर पोइन्टहरु प्रेजेन्टेसनहरु राखिदियो अब हेर्दैन ए हो यु हैव I posted the PowerPoint. Oh, really? Yeah, I thought I need to take all the notes भन्छ अब नोट राखे पनि के
अब यसलाई नवीन सर यो उसलाई चाहिँ रेकर्डिङ चाहिँ बन्द गरौँ न त एकछिन इन्फर्मल कुराहरु